You're listening to SM Media.
From here all the world is a raging fire. I know you can see when I see they'll have their way, everyone breaking down. If we turn and we flee, all I know is I'd rather die than believe a lie. I cannot follow the blind.
Hi folks, and welcome to our latest episode of the SM Media Pro Wrestling Show. I'm Scott McPike. It is a pleasure as always to be your host, and we are finally able to cover Summerslam, the review show. It's been longer than we thought, but we are there eventually. Scott Young is with me as always, mate. I really enjoyed SummerSlam. I don't think we'll look at it as the best matches we've ever seen at a SummerSlam, but in terms of storyline wise, probably as good a show as the Triple H era's had.
Yeah, it was a storyline show. I've seen quite a few people describe it as that. But even as good as storyline progression was, there wasn't a bad match in the card. Like they were all good to great, some slightly average, nothing below average.
Yeah.
So I just think the main event might have been the worst match in the card, but until something happened. But even yeah, well, there was no bad match in the card. I think they were all the right winners. I think my predictions were pretty bad, but I don't disagree with any of the winners that were there.
No, I don't either, to be honest. I do
I
have
think
the predictions here. Let me just get them up. I do have them somewhere hidden here.
Well, I said the easy match in the card was Nia Bailey, and I got that wrong, so that's a great
Yeah,
start.
and you did actually. We could kind of see the logic with all the matches. Oh, that's kind of one thing that
Yeah.
watching the show, I'm like, I can see where they're going there. I can see why they've done that, and I do think that's the embodiment of a good show. There's a lot of matches. There's a lot of really good directions they're going after this. Like, yeah, we spoke. I remember texting you after SummerSlam. Bad Blood could be one of the best shows of all time if they do what we think they're going to do, because there's so much they can do. Right, predictions we have. We both get Gunter. We both said Bailey. I said Liv. You said Rhea. We both went Cody. You went LA Knight. Breaker. I went McIntyre. So we're kind of even. We both get the
Yeah, I think-
surprise right. So they're probably fairly content with that. I'd say maybe there's a couple I'm quite disappointed with that I didn't pick up, but overall, I'd say I'm fairly content with the predictions we had. But let's get right into it. Obviously, we had a lot. We have a lot to get through. Wee bit of news just before we covered up with. We obviously said about potential signings. I think that's one thing that was glaringly obvious during the show was there isn't a tag team. Wasn't a tag team match on this. And
No,
obviously, the chat coming out after the show was potentially the Lucha Brothers are signing for WWE. There's talk today that WWE are interested in a lot of AEW talent. I think the tag division is maybe not at its best. Bringing in Lucha Brothers to that, though, would be ridiculously good.
Motor City Machine Guns apparently are on their way as well, so that's really
That would be good,
beefing up the main roster. Tag division needs beefed up
It does.
because at the moment, SmackDown DIY, obviously got the Bloodline. Theory and Waller aren't great, let's be honest. Street Profits are still there, but
Kind of leading to a split up in it.
yeah, Street Profits are still there. They're still one of the best in ring, but not got Bobby anymore. I read today Bobby's contract's up next week.
What do you think of
and he
that?
looks
Where's
to
he
be him
going?
away.
Do you think he's going? Do you think he's want to
I
try
think
maybe MMA one more time? Like, it's quite a weird one because
He's getting well. There's a lot of folk interested. This is a country to fight for. I think it is. AEW
I don't
interested.
see that working out. Do you? If he went there,
No.
I don't think that
No.
would work.
Actually, I want to make a point about AEW that I'll get onto in a minute. Japan apparently want him. MMA want him. I think what's Jake Paul's league? Jake Paul's got an MMA thing.
Yeah,
Can't remember what it's
I know
called.
the one you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, I can see him being a big name in that.
yeah.
So obviously Jake Paul's got like Logan, WWE, whatever. So I can see him being kind of like that. Maybe he goes to UFC and he's still got a WWE connection. But I genuinely think you could easily reform the Hurt Business in TNA and they'd be unbelievable.
Yeah, that could work.
Because
MVP's
they've
away as well,
lost-
aren't they? Isn't he?
Yeah, they've
his-
lost Motor City Machine Guns. They need something to beef up the tag division a bit, and TNA and Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin with MVP as the manager.
PFL, Jake Paul's League, Professional
I
Fighters League.
can see him going to that. So Bobby, he will have a lot of options on the table. I think he's doing the best thing of letting the contract run out and then getting different contracts. Whoever's got the most money on the table, he signs,
Yeah,
which is the best way to do it.
yeah. We obviously spoke off air as well about the chat of Britt Baker getting suspended as well. There's probably a lot into that we don't know. I think it's just more backstage AEW drama that just isn't needed.
Yeah, I read it and said this is something I had to deal with in high school.
Yeah,
I can't do it. Like I've had enough of that in high school. Even not work now, like my old job, I'd shit like that as well. It's just he said this, she said this, she overheard him, she overheard her criticizing him, so she went and told him. I was like, just fucking grow up, man. Like,
problem is, and this is again, and I want to go back obviously to the chat with potentially Shane McMahon, which seems to be kind of dead in the water now, I think. But Goldberg made an interesting point. I don't know if you've seen this. He said Tony Khan's very like Dixie Carter.
Dixie.
I just
Yeah.
don't think. I think when you don't have that Triple H figure in there who's just gonna, and even like guys like Regal and Shawn Michaels as well. Now, Shawn Michaels probably was the king of ego back in the day, but it's not happening in WWE. You're not hearing a lot of backstage drama, and it's not a
No.
coincidence that WWE seem to have a structure of kind of old heads kind of thing.
Yeah.
That
I mean, well, AEW had Regal, but no one listened to him.
Mhm.
Don't know if you had these stories. Regal would do like tryout. I think it was during maybe no, it wasn't during the pandemic. He joined after the pandemic. But there was points of Regal was having like lessons and classes almost,
Mhm.
and only like five folk turned up.
Yeah,
Inconvenient. A lot of the folk that turned up were Ethan Page, Sean Spears, Brian Pillman Jr., and they're all currently in NXT.
yeah.
Obviously, one now
That's one of
Lexus
the
is King.
the most underrated moments. See when you the NXT the one Cody was at where he had Ethan Page, Lexus, and Sean Spears. They're all the four of them, and you're thinking,
You're all in a good place. What
yeah,
you said.
yeah, and like those three guys are in NXT, and they're doing really well. Like obviously, Lexus had the match with Celia Fatu, which I think I've heard is really good. I don't know if you've seen the clips of that. I saw that
No,
today. There's a match between
I
Lexus
actual
and
yeah, I
Celia,
saw the clips. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. That was
and like Ethan Page is the chat NXT champ. Sean Spears is kind of doing good work in there. There's a lot of good places. I can see a lot of AEW guys going to WWE in the next couple of years. Like I can see it happen.
Ricky Starks
Yeah,
seems a stick on at this
yeah,
point.
and he's
I'm not sure
perfect
what
for
the script with
NXT.
Daniel Garcia.
I think he's
There's
staying
sort of
with AEW. I think I
there's
saw
something
that.
there. Although
Mm.
apparently they done the angle with MJF in case he doesn't resign.
Yeah. Right, let's get into SummerSlam. We've got a lot to get through. We'll start with the opening match. We obviously had an opening with Triple H, which again is always quite cool. Stephanie was there as well. They just seem to be getting Stephanie out for the big events. We'll get into Juicy Roll later as well. Jelly
Jelly
Roll.
roll,
What did I say? Juicy Roll. Jesus.
juicy roll.
Yeah, we might as well call him Juicy Roll. Opening match, though, probably the match I was most intrigued with going into the show was Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley was accompanied by Dominic Mysterio. There was always looking with the benefit of hindsight. I think they knew that was the last walk together as a
Yeah,
partnership. Decent match. Obviously, you've got that phenomenal spot with Ripley with her shoulder, which is ridiculous.
I've seen this side by side of Buddy Matthews doing the same thing.
No.
It was in I think it was a collision. Probably it was collision because House of Black were on it. It was a collision and Buddy Matthews' shoulder went, and you just see him running at the barricade. Or like his arms like
Yeah.
over the barricade, and if you're running into it, it's like they two are made for each other.
Yeah.
It's mental that.
Yeah. Well, Buddy's got it all to himself now because Dom did turn on Rhea and has aligned with Liv Morgan. Obviously, we saw on Monday the Judgment Day is now new reform. We'll get into obviously Priest later on. But yeah, decent match. Obviously, more focused on the ending. You saw some of the camera angles of the kiss is unbelievable. Ripley's yeah, Rhea plays it brilliantly because there's this like anger, but there's also this sadness and like weakness, and it's really well done. I think we knew that's where it was going, but could they have done it any better? I don't think they could have. I think it was just so well done, and the match was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was. It was never gonna be a 5-star match.
No,
I
it
don't.
wasn't.
That's no. Rhea has had, I think, top tier match. I keep banging on about her match with Charlotte Mania 39, but Liv has never really been that caliber of wrestler. So it's never
Nah.
gonna be a 5-star match. But the way they've done it, even to the point where he grabs the chair, and we're thinking, what's he doing here? Because obviously he grabs the chair saying you can't win the belt like this. So while I'm watching, is like, is he on Rhea's side with that? Because obviously still getting her to win the belt to an extent. And then even when he throws the chair in for the oblivion at the end, I'm watching it thinking, is that an accident? Did he
Yeah,
mean to throw it to
kind
Rhea?
of dragging it out. Yeah,
And it was when he smirk. It was a smirk when the bell rang. I thought this prick knew what he was doing, and he didn't. They didn't have to go for it, did they? Jesus,
brilliant.
pair
In
of
it.
them.
Like it's,
Aye.
and I think though this is the point where we need to talk about that run that they had. Ray and Dom were brilliant together. Like Dom, it made Dom into one of the best heels I think we've seen in modern, like the past kind of 5 years of WWE. Like he's been so good in the role. He's only going to get better. The problem is though, do they try and top the Rhea stuff, which was I think is quite hard to top, or do they go a complete different direction where they're just insufferable? And I think that's probably the way to go. Like,
Well, they were never the most like romantic couple,
yeah,
Rhea
that's
and Dom.
yeah.
I can see
Edge,
them
Edge and
going.
Lita, Edge and Lita kind of comes to mind. Like where I think they
Yeah,
could go, where they're just constantly at it.
yeah. I wouldn't go as at it as
Don't
Edge and
do
Lita were.
don't do that. Yeah, I get that. But
No, God,
there
don't
was
do
a
that.
point where they were absolutely insufferable,
Yeah,
but it was good. And again, it kind of totally turns Liv heel, which again she's pretty good at as well.
see you think Dom
Rhea
turn
has
on.
to be a babyface at this point though, doesn't she? She
Yeah,
can't. She's so over.
we saw the pop on Raw.
Yeah,
Where as soon as this is my brutality is so it's not getting class shatter levels, but it's not a million miles away from it.
it's up there, isn't it?
You've got the if you smell as well, which you need a sting to be the start of a top theme. Obviously, a lot of folk. If you looked up top 10 pops of WWE history, I reckon 60% of them starts with glass shattering.
Yeah.
So you need a good sting at the start of a theme to be a top babyface. I think Priest will eventually get a better theme because he's still very cloth Judgment Day theme that he needs to sort of get away from that one. But
I
Rhea's
liked
theme
his
of
old
this is
theme.
my
I liked his
brutality.
old theme. Sees early NXT theme. That's still his best. Like see the
Yeah,
one where he
maybe
does the
maybe go back
Archer.
to
I
that.
like that. Yeah, like that was a good one. Like that was a CF.
I'll never forget. I don't think I could ever go back to the shooting the arrow since that zombie
Yeah,
match. Remember that?
but
With
I
the
don't know
thing
if
on
he
the
had that
telly?
theme at that point. But that was pretty good. I go back to the Bad
Yeah.
Bunny match. That was like he was over at that point as well. And like, but no, this is gonna go. This ultimately probably leads to Rhea and Liv probably like don't think you roll it out till Mania. I don't think it can go that far, but probably go maybe
You could
Rumble.
I'm thinking War Games and you could do something like that
Mm.
because you've got one side on the sort of babyface side almost you've got damage control now. And then the other side you've got Sonya's crew, you've Sonya, Zoe and Shayna. You could put Living with them and then maybe find don't know what Alexa's doing, don't know if she's going with the Wyatts or not. You think Charlotte's on SmackDown? Is that right?
Becky,
Charlotte being
Becky,
drafted?
Becky.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Becky. Well, she's teased retirement, so I don't know if she's retiring. I don't know.
I was going to ask you this right because this is probably something we forgot. Is Becky ever going to be the man that she was? She's never going to top that. Like we're going to
No,
review WrestleMania 37 36 next week for the pandemic show, and I think it's very very hard to look past that man point where it kind of stopped round about that time. I don't think she ever topped that. Like I
no,
really
because not
don't.
long, cause not long
And
after that she went away
yeah, that
because
was
she was
well. She
pregnant.
obviously the Money Bank, yeah. But
She's still the fact we'll get into it next week, but this is something. Why the hell did she beat Shayna in that show?
Yeah, exactly. But she comes back and she's not. You can't have Becky Lynch as just another woman in the card. You can't. I know
No.
she did the NXT stuff, but she's just so big now, and I don't think she can be just another worker. I think she needs to be at the top, and I don't think she can anymore. I really don't. Well, I don't think she's not in terms of talent. I just think she's kind of just she's peaked in terms of
Yeah.
popularity. And looking at where Rhea is now, I think Liv can get there. Like Lyra's kind of making a mark. I think there's a lot of women in NXT that I think could be so good. Like Roxanne could be top level. A lot of women in NXT I think are just going in the right direction. You've obviously got a few coming in who could kick on, like Julia, Stephanie. There's a lot of talent coming through.
Cora Jade's due back soon.
Cora, yeah. Nikita Lyons, another one who's obviously well thought of.
Sol Ruka with that finisher as well.
Yeah, like there's so many, and Charlotte's obviously someone who will always be at the top of the card, but his Becky, like I don't think, I think nobody gave Becky a chance at Mania against Rhea, and the reason was Rhea's just in a different league at the moment, and that's not a knock on Becky. It's just where we're at.
I think the best thing to do with, I think Becky's probably done full time.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You can
think
bring
if
her
you
back.
brought her back as a Roman Reigns sort of contract, that's probably the best way to use Becky. I think that's basically she wants to be used as well.
Yeah.
Because if you ask most wrestlers, the bet, what's your dream role? They want to say part timer, because part time main eventer.
I'll tell you one
Because
thing that's
Roman,
not happening though. She's not going to AEW. I'd say there's
no.
0.01% chance she goes to AEW.
Well, see, I will always go back to when folks say no chance they go to W, no chance they go to WWE. I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but at the time, no one thought Cody was going to WWE.
But the difference is, like, she's kind of made her money. I would be surprised if she's maybe Hollywood, maybe looking at that juncture, maybe in a couple of years. Like she's maybe at that stage. Because Edge did that when he was done. He had quite a decent level TV career, and then obviously wanted back. I'm just surprised if that's something Becky can, because she's quite good. Do you know what I mean?
I think she spoke about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like wanting to go off to acting, but
But we're talking the SummerSlam show, but somebody wasn't even there. But obviously it was like Rhea Liv was really good. Second match, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. We kind of thought this was where it was going. We both said Braun would win. They just made Braun look an absolute superstar. A brilliant clip of the Steiner brothers in the skybox. I don't know if you've seen it with
yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
Kevin Nash and DDP. I think it is. We've got a ridiculous talent in our hands here. Right time to do it as well. Fair play to Sammy. Do you know who the longest reigning champion in WWE is right now?
don't tell me. I think I know this. Maybe Liv.
Cody. Cody's the
Yeah,
only
it's 'cause Cody won at Mania.
only champ at Mania who's still champ.
That's mental. Considering Triple H, every Triple H
Yeah,
reign before that was about 4 years long.
yeah.
In fact, Cody's what, 3 months, 4 months?
The thing I liked about this is though they kind of played well the fact that Braun's kind of learning from what he got wrong at Money in the Bank kind of thing. Like they just made
Aye.
him smarter and kind of moves Sammy on. I don't know where they're going with Braun or like who's next challenger. I don't know if Sammy will go straight away. I think they seem to be kind of looking towards Sammy and Jay for the tag titles, which could be pretty cool.
I think we all know where that one's going.
Yeah, I think we know exactly where it's going. But right now, like Braun's the right guy. Braun can hold the belt for a while. Like,
Yeah, easy.
yeah.
I wouldn't go Gunter, but
Do you have him face a
you've
heel
got
or
a bunch of guys.
do you have him face
Yep.
a heel or neither?
Only matters.
No, it doesn't.
You
No.
could just have. You've got a bunch of guys on Raw. You've got just a bunch of big guys who just love to bar each other. You get Sheamus, you get Ludwig, you get Bronson. You've got mine's gone. You've got Ilya. You've got a bunch of guys on Raw who you've got that mid card on Raw is stacked of talent. There's probably a bunch of names I can't remember, and you could all have them. They could all have great matches with Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
I think they'll do Ilya and Berlin. And if I do that,
great, wouldn't it?
do you
It was going to be so good.
do you have Ilya win that? But
No, I think you do a wee bit
or do you
of.
do what they done in Scotland and just have one of the one guy one sort? I know it's not his hometown, but one of Gunter or Ilya win it
Mhm.
rather than both. Because obviously in Scotland they had the Unholy Union win it because Drew was losing.
Yeah. Well, Gunter's not losing in Berlin. There's absolutely no chance
No.
of that. But yeah, Braun's obviously champ. I think he's going to have a long run. Next match was Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Logan Paul, who kind of went down the route of kind of. I think if he was going to be, if there was any chance of him being a baby face, he was certainly killed the week before. We'll not get into why, but I think if you know, you know. He then get massive heat by bringing out Machine Gun Kelly, who I completely forgot existed, to be honest. I didn't even, he'd completely gone from my
Yeah.
memory until it came out. I wasn't sure who did it. I thought they would keep the belt on Logan until what happened during the week, and then I thought there's no way they're keeping it on him. He's not because of that. I just think it's the right time for LA Knight, and really like it felt like a big moment. It felt like a moment of this is the journey, this is the climax of LA Knight's run, and really happy just to. I'm glad he's going to get some sort of championship run, and hopefully there's a good mid card in SmackDown like Andrade, Carmelo. There's a lot of guys he can work with, and I think he's going to.
AJ's back this week.
AJ's back as well. AJ LA Knight again would be quite good. There's just a lot you can do here, but Logan, despite obviously what we're kind of thinking of him at the moment, still a massive draw for WWE. Like he's still a massive
Yeah.
presence, and he's still. I mean that spot is probably one of the best things I've seen in a show. Like how he's able to pull that off. Nobody.
Did you see his video on his Instagram?
Yeah,
His sort of goodbye video. It's really
tremendous.
funny.
It's
I had a
tremendous.
lot of fun with that one.
He obviously might see this again. I'm not sure, but it was obviously well built for a while, and again, not a match that was perfect, but it's still good spots, good big moments in the show. Obviously, meant to give Ellie the rub, and again, just another good direction that they're heading and giving Ellie a run.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you do with Logan. With Logan, you could just have churn out every few months. Stick him at a big star and have a big match.
Has
And
he
he'll go away
has he
and
got any fights coming up?
no, he's not. He had the Dylan Dennis fight, and there's not really been any talk of him boxing.
No.
I think he is full on WWE now.
Yeah.
He might do the odd boxing, but there's no talk about it. He's not really called anyone out. No one's called him out. So I think he's all in WWE at the moment. You could run him Randy 1v1.
That would be good.
Could
Yeah.
there's just a bunch of guys. You could write him AJ would be good.
Yeah. Do you have him go
Although
to
kind
Raw?
of heel versus
Do you have him
heel.
go to Raw? Do some stuff.
You could easily have. I think he's a free agent, so you could easily stick him
Yeah.
on Raw.
Yeah.
Logan v Braun Breaker would be a lot of fun. Like Logan's a talented enough wrestler that you can stick him in the ring with any sort of experienced guy, and they
Him,
could
how good would him and Punk be in terms of like a promo battle?
just 3 hours of Raw. It's just them two talking.
Yeah, it'd be
I'd
good,
be up
wouldn't
for
it?
that.
Yeah, be good.
But
Like Ellie though, like obviously, like I think like he's obviously somebody who's really popular, and he does have the catchphrases. He's good in the mic, but I think that's the perfect role for him just now. Just being the US champ, have a couple of like you're probably going to build somebody up to take the belt off him, whether it's a heel or something like that. But maybe Melo could be him and Melo could be maybe a good run. Put the belt in Melo for a while, but he's going to be a good US champ. He's going to be somebody who this is going to be his big. We look back at LA Knight and WWE, we're going to say he was a very good US champ. That's where I think we'll be at with
yeah,
LA Knight.
well, I mean, Logan defended it what twice in 2.5 days or something like that.
Yeah, I think he'll probably defend this
So we can only
two times in a month.
yeah, just to say, oh, I've done it more. I think do you know Jay and Cody's tag title run had the same number of defenses as Logan's US title run?
What did that last?
That just sums up. And they held it for 9 days.
Yeah, exactly. But
They had the match. They had a match on SmackDown, and they had a couple matches on Raw,
mhm.
and that's the same number of times as Logan, which is mental to me.
Yeah, we had another title change after that. We had Nia Jax defeating Bailey for the Women's Championship. We obviously had Tiffany coming in. We thought there was maybe a chance she was going to cash in Money in the Bank. Still think it's too early for that. Build it, build her and Nia. I think that's probably the long-term plan here until a certain Charlotte comes back and you can build like Jade and Bianca. Did it well. Like they made Nia. The spot, the sit out thing is just brilliant. Like it's really good. It's a brilliant finish. It's probably the best finisher for Nia. And Bailey's run was okay, wasn't it? It wasn't spectacular. She's had better championship runs, but it was fine for the most part. But I do think this is a good way to go in giving Nia the belt.
I was quite disappointed in Bailey's reign overall because even like you had to win the Rumble. Obviously, win the Rumble was great. I think she entered what 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. She entered it early and stayed there for about an hour and won the thing. But she didn't really do anything. The damage control breakup kind of, I think they fumbled it. To be
Didn't
honest,
go to much, didn't it? No. Yeah.
like they had the one segment on SmackDown which was great. The one where like Bailey, they all found out Bailey's been learning Japanese, so they know what they've been saying about her, that kind of thing. But after that, didn't do anything much.
Yeah.
And the run, like I couldn't, like a triple threat of her, Naomi, and Tiffany, which was all right. That was in France.
And her and
It's good.
Bailey and Piper.
Yeah, Bailey and Piper again, it's decent. And then the build to this has been nothing really. A side to side uh, promo where Bailey made some backstage references where everyone, oh, she said this, she shouldn't have said this. But apart from that, there was nothing really. Like, I think the Nia and Tiffany thing will work, and then Charlotte come back because Tiffany has said in many interviews that Charlotte's her idol, basically.
Yeah. I do
Tiffany's a
think
wrestler
that's where
now
they're going.
because of Charlotte.
Yeah, I do
So you
think.
could do a sort of mini me type thing because Tiffany is mini Charlotte in every sense of the word.
I do think the long
Small,
term plans for Tiffany to be a babyface. Like I do think she's over. She's
yeah,
popular.
she's definitely over. But
So
I would hold off on that for a good
yeah,
while.
don't do it straight away. Give her long term. The ultimate plan is maybe even Jade as well, but we'll see what goes here. But again, Nia's probably. I think this will be a better run than Nia's first run with the title, which was pretty substandard to be honest. Like it was all.
That was a month, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was. She won it at Mania, and then obviously there was the build towards her and Ronda, which Alexa won the title back, and then they didn't really do much after that, so it wasn't really great. But I do think this will be better. We then had Drew versus Punk, obviously with Seth as referee. What did you think of this? Like, I know this. We'll talk about the ending in a minute, but in terms of the match, I think they clicked.
It felt like a fight.
Yeah,
Like it didn't feel like a wrestling match. It felt
yeah,
like I one thing I despise in wrestling is when it's a blood feud, and they start with a collar and elbow tie up. I despise it.
yeah. I know
But
that.
this match started, rang the bell. Seth was in between them. It rang the bell. Seth boosted, and the two guys just started batting each other. I think Seth played his role quite well.
Yeah,
The ref cam, they haven't really spoken about that. They tried the ref cam,
yeah. I
and
seen
it didn't
that.
work.
No,
Didn't
I didn't.
like it.
Didn't. And I don't think it's.
Did it.
I don't think that's another. That's one thing that I can see just being like one and done. Let's like right. We tried that. Didn't work. Let's move on.
I
I don't
could.
think we'll ever see that
Did you
again.
did you see the reason they stopped it? Because Seth
Did it keep
got
falling
rid of the
off or
ref
something?
cam. I think it was somewhere ran out of battery.
Aye, I think you're maybe right, but I think there was something that was falling off as well.
Aye. But the match itself, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
I enjoyed it, but I just
it's
felt
really split opinion online.
it
A
was
lot
one.
have
It's one of those
so
where it wasn't. If they top it, like it's obviously that we're obviously leading to probably Hell in a Cell.
yeah.
If it's the first in like an epic trilogy, I'm fine with it. But if this was like one and done, I'd be like, nah, that didn't deliver.
Yeah, I think they were very much saving
I think
stuff.
they were getting a
If
feel for each other. I think that was it.
yeah, because
Where
bear in
Punk
mind,
was
I
at
think
and where Punk
Punk
was
was
at as well.
working. Punk was working slightly safer because this is his first singles match in about a year since Joe.
First since Dom at the house show, was it not?
Yeah, but first like
Yeah, yeah.
big me feel first since Joe at Wembley this time last year, and we know what happened before and after that.
Hmm.
And then obviously the Rumble, which you can kind of hide yourself in the Rumble, so you get injured in that Rumble.
Yeah.
And then he had this. This is what his third televised match in a year.
Hmm.
So I can understand why some folk were a bit critical of it, but I quite enjoyed it. I thought
Yeah,
it felt real, and it's
yeah.
very rare you feel wrestling feels real.
I don't think we'll be seeing Seth Rollins in this for a while because he looks to have been killed.
Have you seen he's actually injured? He's legit injured. That's how
Yeah,
they done it.
I think it was to write him off TV, but that was a
Yeah, there was a report today. Someone said he's legit injured,
Bronson
and
Reed
Bronson just
is
murdered him.
what a star making show that was. Like,
That's what I put. That's what I put on Twitter. It was how to make a star in 5 minutes.
turns out all you need to do with Bronson Reed is just have him tsunami
Kill
like
people.
6 or 7 times, and it was good that they brought out everybody to try and stop him. And
The stupidest people in the world, by the way, those
yeah,
officials. Just take Seth out the ring. You after the third one, I'm sitting there. Just take him out the ring. You can't do tsunami outside
a
the ring.
lot of people were discussing obviously the kind of SummerSlam '97 vibes with this, and during the match, I was thinking, yeah, they're giving us Seth versus Punk, but they're not giving us it yet. They're going to slowly build to it. The, there's just so much to take from this that Punk and Seth, there's a brilliant like mutual respect, but there's also a lot of personal stuff. You can see that. Like you can see
Yeah,
that they will click. They will be real that will be really good when and probably as Mania, I think.
yeah. It's.
Probably
I
where it's
think
going.
I seen a bit of criticism for that why they feuding over a bracelet,
I
but
like that though.
I think the bracelet is more than just a bracelet.
Yeah.
It's first of all, it's fan made that for Punk,
Hmm.
and it's Punk's family as well. Punk's always spoke about his love of his family, his wife, he loves his dog, etc. But also, I think the scene when Punk looked up and saw Seth wearing the bracelet, that sort of it took him back to that. It sort of blurred the lines a bit. It looked more Punk looked paranoid, and the sort of are you against me? Why are you wearing this? That's mine. That's my wife, my dog. Why are you wearing this? It's mine. That sort of brings back the paranoia that we've always seen in Punk.
Yeah.
We saw it in AEW. We saw it in 2014 when he walked out. We've even seen it now since he came back. The
Mm.
paranoid thing about Drew and whatever else. I like the fact that the bracelet symbolises more than just a bracelet. It
Yeah.
symbolises a bunch of different things, and it makes Punk this paranoid being. Like even he very easily could have won it with that Anaconda device, but he stopped the Anaconda device because he saw the bracelet, and he was sort
Yeah.
of fixated on the bracelet. So I hope they keep the bracelet within the feud. I think they will based on Raw because Punk and Seth were staring at each other and Drew was like, I'm here, I've got a bracelet. And that's when Punk took his off Seth and ran after Drew.
Do you hold off to Bad Blood or do you do it again before then?
I think there's enough there you can hold it off. Get Berlin in what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, end of August, yeah. And then
End of
Crown
August.
Jewel. I think it's Crown Jewel up. Or is it Crown Jewel after Bad Blood?
It'll be Crown. I think
I think it's
Bad Blood's
Crown Jewel
October.
first, yes. Crown Jewel first, I think.
I'll get the pay-per-view schedule up. But I think you could very easily just run a trilogy.
Yeah, I think they
You
will.
could very easily do one in Berlin. I think Berlin will still be a standard 5 match card.
Yeah.
I think you have Gunter Randy, which I love, by the way. I think that's a great. I think
Yeah.
I love that.
We'll get into
I
that.
would go Ilya Braun, my other one.
Seem to be
Would you
timing. Seem to be doing Mitchin. That seemed to be kind of
maybe
popping up. Yeah.
if he's
Yeah.
fit, you do Seth Bronson Reed.
Yeah. Probably. Possibly. Yeah. And either Bronson win.
Aye, and then you probably have a Cody match in there.
I think we're getting. I think we're getting Cody, Randy versus Jacob and Hammer. Not Randy, Cody and
Cody and Roman.
Maybe.
I've seen that. I've seen Cody and
Maybe,
Roman
or
versus Solo and Jacob.
Cody and Kevin, maybe, and you do
Maybe, but
maybe.
I did see someone say Cody and Roman tag team, and I now want nothing more.
Imagine that though. Imagine saying that 12 months ago, Cody and Roman could win the tag titles.
God, it's Berlin, then Bad Blood on
Right,
October
okay.
5th, and then Crown Jewel
Femme
November
Jill.
2nd.
Right, okay. So it's probably, I think they might hold off till Bad Blood and then might do something to close. I don't know what they'll do, but this isn't over, and I think we might see the best of this to come. Damien Gunter for the world title. I think hands down match of the night. I think best match. Lot to come off it
bell
as
to bell.
well. Bell to bell best match, I think, by far. I don't even think it's even close. Really good stuff in as well. Obviously, Finn made his presence known. Brilliant use of the TV screen, which I think was very, very underrated. I didn't even
Yeah, I love that. I think I was like,
smart.
Priest is the smartest babyface.
Smart, yeah.
Babyfaces are all stupid. They're
Yeah.
all stupid people. But Priest, it's really how someone can be smart by watching the telly.
Yeah.
Just turn around to what, because it's simple. Just watch the telly and you'll see what happened. Rather than like referees are the stupidest people in the world as well. Just watch the telly, you'll see what happened.
Right. Out of 10, give us a ranking on Damien Priest's world title run. I'm giving it a solid 7.
I was thinking 7.
I think it was good. I think it was
Based, if you look at Priest when he won it at Mania to Priest now and everything in between, what I will say about Priest is every single match he had, people think he's going to lose or people wanted him to lose.
Yeah.
Seth won at Money in the Bank, Drew in Scotland, see Gunter, which he eventually did lose, Jay, France as well. I think I really like Priest. I think Priest is really underrated. I like his babyface turn has done wonders for him. Because you've got the story of he was homeless and whatever else, and what he is now. Yeah, and obviously the sort of comparison with Gunter, the sort of silver spoon brought up.
I don't really buy that though, because think of Gunter pre Triple H, and you brought this up on Twitter. Gunter pre Triple H probably isn't anywhere near this stage.
No.
Like, he's probably just another guy on the card.
I think he's in AEW.
I think he's a Cesaro, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's where he ends up. Maybe not AEW, but he's probably...
No, apparently the rumour, this is all, I only found this out a couple of days ago through someone on Twitter. Gunter's contract was up 4 weeks after Vince retired. And Vince planned on burying Gunter. Something to do with there was a segment on a Raw. It was 4th of July, there was an American thing. Gunter done a segment with Archer, I think it was. And Vince hated Gunter after that. And Vince's plan was to bury Gunter. And his contract was up 4 weeks after Vince retired. So if Vince hadn't
When
retired,
did he win?
Gunter's
Did he win the Intercontinental title after Vince left?
No, Vince gave him the title, and then
Is that what it was?
then his plan was, I'll make him. This is all reported, obviously. So Gunter was IC champ when Vince was still in charge, and Vince's plan was, I'm gonna make him lose this belt. I'm gonna embarrass him because he made an ass for a segment, which is Vince logic. And then obviously Triple H took the book. Triple H realized this Gunter guy's pretty good. I'm gonna keep the belt on him for 3 years, and obviously we know what's happened now. And now he's world champion and one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, just miraculous journey. Where do you think, like, obviously Judgment Day, that's probably going to be Damien and Rhea kind of battling them. They've done, I think we probably thought that's what was going to happen. I think we all thought they would go that route. Like, good long-term booking, obviously, because Finn, they've obviously been teasing it for a while. Finn's still tag champ as well, because you could have Damien costing Finn the tag titles. Probably what's going to happen. There's a lot here you can do, but when Randy Orton's music hit against Gunther, I remember texting you as soon as I watched it. I thought that makes sense. That is brilliant.
It
Just
does make sense, yeah.
perfect first defense for Gunther.
Who do you put on the sort of side of Priest and Rhea? Because I think you need more than just the two of them.
Maybe Jay, but I do think that's a bit fan fiction
I
crap.
think Jay's a bit busy, and I would have him. I'd much rather him being involved in our next match.
Yeah.
We're going to speak of it.
But do you do that straight away? Do you do that straight away? Just leave.
I saw someone say Ray. Ray makes a lot of sense.
Maybe.
Priest and Ray
do you need to do
versus.
that, or do you just have Ray and Damien just go after them all?
I think if you're going to have a match, I think you need more. I think you've got Carl. I'm happy Carlito was there because Carlito was the best. But you got 5 guys. You got Carlito, JD, Finn, Dom, and Liv, and only 2 on the other side. I think if we're going to do a match here, I think you need more than just the 2 of them. I see someone pitch Ray, Priest, and Rhea versus Liv, Dom, and Finn for maybe Berlin.
Yeah, maybe.
Or
Maybe
maybe a main event of a Raw or something like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, maybe. But again, there's a lot to like about what's happening here. Really good match and really good story coming out of it. Main event, we saw a couple of surprise appearances before the match started. We obviously saw the return of Arn Anderson, which I think is pretty good. I hope he gets back into a backstage role, because I think some of the best matches in PG era were produced by Arn Anderson.
Do you know why he gets sacked?
No.
Alicia Fox turned up pissed
That's
for a
right.
house show,
That's right.
and Arn Anderson let her wrestle.
That's right.
That's why he get the sack, and then he also went to AEW with
Went
Cody.
to AEW,
And
yeah.
obviously the biggest return of the night
Forgot all about
and Pharaoh
Pharaoh
return
came
of the night is easily the best return of the night, maybe the
Yeah.
best return of the year,
Yeah.
and I don't think it'll be topped. But I think this is his last. This is Pharaoh's retirement, basically.
Yeah, has to be. But
Because I don't
obviously,
think he's probably staying at home with Brandy and the Wayne, whose name I can't remember.
yeah.
But because Pharaoh's not allowed on the road anymore.
Yeah. Obviously, Cody and Solo was always going to main event, realistically. Almost immediately, interference. Obviously, Arn says that he's got friends. He brings Kevin and Randy. Jacob just looks phenomenal again. I think the one blessing of this is that we've heard Jacob's injury isn't as bad as it first looked. It looked pretty bad when you saw it, and then you saw him in a walking boot.
I was terrified.
How good is he? Like, even just that wee 2 minutes, he's just, everything is just brilliant. And
Like
there
there's
was a
no
report.
breath. Like there's no breath.
There was a report
Like
that WWE are so happy with him, and you can see why. You can see why.
Like the SmackDown match when they won the tag titles, he just done a bunch of moves back to back. You're like, slow down. Like he done a moonsault and a Samoan drop type thing, and then he done something else, and it was all like split second. I'm like, slow down a bit.
Yeah.
And then obviously it looked bad, but yeah, I'm just happy he's okay.
I'm more excited for that than Roman's return, to see that if he starts battering somebody, I'll be like, yes, at least we know he's okay.
Yeah.
We then obviously probably spoiled it there. Just when the kind of chaos had calmed down, we then heard a revamped version of Roman's theme, and then you saw the OTC, which it took me a while to click what that meant. But it still took me a wee while to. Did it click? I didn't. Did it click for you straight away?
It clicked me straight away because I've got WrestleVotes Twitter notifications on. So they were the one that put out the original report of original Tribal Chief. So when I saw OTC, I instantly knew that's original Tribal Chief.
Yeah.
Because I saw the report.
Does that spoil at that point he's going for Solo?
I think we all knew he was going for Solo. The only thing that put my head in might not go for Solo was Corey or Pat. One of them. Michael Cole went, "Why is Roman here?" One of Corey or Pat said he's obviously here for Cody, and the other one said, "No, he's obviously here for Solo." So a part of me went, "Is he going for Cody?" And I also saw someone speculate that Roman could try and bring the new bloodline down from on the inside, as if he would try and say siding with Solo.
Yeah.
But obviously he didn't do it. He instantly got the ring, Superman punch, Spirit Soul.
The
And
roar,
how over is he now?
the roar when he hits that when he does the I'm not going to do it.
Oh,
But the
go on, do
roar.
it.
No, I'm not going to do it. But the roar at that point, that's what 9 years ago they wanted. That's what they wanted at Rumble
Yeah.
2015. That's
It
what
only took him 10 years to get him over.
and he's turned out the way to do it was the exact turn them heel and make them and
It's
a
almost as
wee
if what we were all saying in 2015 was right.
and I want to make a wee mention as well because you know just how much I love Roman's theme. It's so good, but changing it a wee bit so it's the new character.
Yeah, I loved. People talk about Roman back-to-back Manias are two all-time entrances. You had the 6 grand pianos at Mania 39
Yeah,
and at Mania 40 at the orchestra.
yeah,
Like, and I thought the orchestra was unbelievable when I saw it. I was like, how do you up pianos? Just get a full band of 40 folk. It's great.
yeah. Obviously, delivers the spear, the wee nod as well, which I thought was quite good. I thought was quite well done. And then you've now got Cody retaining. Do you keep? I think you keep Cody away from this for a wee while. Like
I've said from the start Cody's 5th man in Bloodline, and it
he
was.
is, but I don't think you have him be in the bloodline story all the way to War Games. You then have him maybe because you're building up. I think the next big pops is going to be the Usos together. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
That'll come eventually. Probably we're going to get Usos versus Tonga and Fatu. Is probably the direction of the tag titles, which I think will be great.
Sorry, I want to mention something before we get onto this. Tonga man. Oh man,
I genuinely thought we were going to get Hikuleo. Like I really thought we were getting it.
Tongaloa's had 3 big spots in WWE. I made an ass of them
I
all.
think he's doing it on
The
purpose.
first one in back, he done it back last week, mistimed it, and the ref had to pull. Seen the angle? The ref pulled himself out the ring. The second one, the low blow. Is it Money in the Bank?
Yeah, it was Money in the Bank. Yeah, that was a tag match.
Money in the Bank where he punches Tama Tonga in the head.
Yeah.
And the third one, jeez. I did see someone say he does have an eye patch on, and that's probably like messed up his vision.
He's doing it on
But
purpose. It has to be doing it on purpose. Has to be
I also
something.
someone say that he's got the eye patch in the wrong eye, which is far too funny.
Yeah. How good would it be if maybe at Crown Jewel they go Roman just has something with Solo and then says, I want Cody one last time. I think you probably do it at Crown Jewel. You just have that.
When you saw that, you
blowout.
had Cody when Roman's in the ramp and Cody's in the turnbuckle, sort of looking at him. Cody goes like that to the belt, which I didn't see. I saw that time. I wondered what it meant, and then I saw someone say it's trilogy, which makes a lot of sense.
And I think that
Crown Jewel's
Crown
Jewel's
the
a
best
great place to do it,
it.
actually.
It is. It is. I think that's the
I
only
saw
place you
someone
can do
say
it.
could maybe do it at the Rumble
Maybe.
because I think
But
Mania's the Rock.
I
To me,
think Crown
Mania's
Jewel.
Rock.
I think Crown Jewel's the best way to do it because although it is a live event, a premium live event, it's you can do Cody, like do you know what I mean? You can do Cody Logan just as a
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can.
one off. You can do the one off matches. That's
Yeah.
probably the way to do them.
Yeah, Cody Roman at Crown Jewel does make a lot of sense. That's a good
Yeah.
shout.
I think
Yeah,
that's
do that
probably-
there, and then you can have at the end of it they shake hands,
and that's War Games.
and that's War Games.
Yeah.
Because Crown Jewel's 3 weeks. Because War Games like 3 weeks after Crown Jewel.
Yeah. Must be the start of October. Yeah, whatever they're doing. Really good show though. Really, we forgot to mention the music thing, which was insane. Like
Do we have to?
Jelly
How
Roll.
high did he get him in
Yeah,
that choke slam? By the way, I know Jelly Roll's a big guy, but
they
bloody
kind
hell.
of just seem to have forgot about the fact that they're teasing a breakup between Theory and Waller.
Yeah, I'm not bothered. I think they're both. I think they're both better as a tag team act than they are. Triple H just loves to break up tag teams.
Yeah, and that's kind of why the tag team division's maybe not at the best stage. But I'm really happy after that. Like WWE are just kicking it. like killing it now, just with everything.
Yeah.
Long term booking is just so good. Everything's clicking. So many stories, even Raw. I mean,
Odyssey Jones is alive.
yeah, like even things like that. Like I think did he not? Is his return not the biggest return of the month in YouTube or something?
Something like that.
Probably a lot of people have been
Consider
going,
you had Roman.
"Who is Odyssey Jones?" Like
Yeah.
probably, but
Uh,
even if you can just like Bash at Berlin's probably going to be Gunter focused as it should be. Probably build Bad Blood. I think could be a top level pay per view. Then you've got Crown Jewel. Then you've got Survivor Series, and then obviously Rumble slightly later. Am I right? Rumble I think's ended
yeah, Rumble
beginning
beginning of February
beginning
this
of
year.
February, and then Mania's obviously a bit later as well. So many things to look forward to. We are going to be doing a special episode. The pandemic era show will return next week. We're going to do a Mania Night 1 review of 36. We then will go to Wembley for All In. We'll have that as well. Lot to look forward to, but I think we go back to the surreal next week. We're going to do another pandemic show. If there's any news, we will be all over it. Obviously, you're on top of the media, the social media and Twitter. Just a lot to look forward to, and again, it's just every couple of weeks now there just seems to be something exciting, and that's
Yeah.
think
Oh,
of
I
where
should
it
put
was
better in
COVID.
quickly. How?
Yeah,
What do you think the German crowd would be like?
probably not as good as France, but it'll be
No,
fine.
for the level of Scotland.
Probably, yeah, yeah. Did you see the thing
I've
that
not what.
apparently they're going to do? I don't think this has been confirmed, but I think it's been discussed. They're going to look at doing taped Raws on Sunday. I think
Yeah, in
that could be
Germany.
pretty good. I think that could be pretty good.
It's also just a lot easier for it just makes the
Yeah,
wrestlers' lives more convenient.
yeah, yeah. And even do could you know do a live Monday Raw? Like,
I don't know. 'Cause I don't know how the like house shows and that would work. I
mm,
don't know about house show schedules and stuff.
yeah, because it just seems,
And also, the buildings might be busy. For all we know,
yeah, maybe,
like the
yeah,
buildings in Germany might be booked.
yeah. But no, I'm really happy of where SummerSlam was. Really good show. In terms of Triple H's live events, is it up the top?
I still put Mania 30. My top three are still Mania. No order. Mania 39, Clash at the Castle Wales, and Mania 40. That's still my top three. And this doesn't break it for me.
Yeah, it was still
It's up there, but it's not
probably
in my top
storyline
three.
wise. We'll probably assess it better in the next couple of months when we see where everything closes. But in terms of like a storyline building towards long term booking, couldn't have done it any
Yeah,
better. I'm really
no.
impressed with it.
But also managed to cap off a lot of stories while starting new ones.
Yeah. But we are going to be back next week for Pandemic Era. As I say, any news, we will be on top of it. Scott, always a pleasure, mate. Thank you very much. Enjoyed that.
I know, it was good. It was a pleasure to be here.
And we will see you all next week for Pandemic Era. Thank you very much.